Welcome back to our Rectory Ramble. As you can tell, we have our fireplace working thanks to Christian and our maintenance man. They're not entirely done. One of the things that I wanted to share right away before we get into our Rectory Ramble is that gobbles is becoming very popular. You know, our chicken that we had to have surgery on. We've had people sending chickens our way into the rectory. In fact, they're sending letters to Gobbles.
I think if Gobbles had his own YouTube channel, he'd have more followers than the parish.
Exactly. I'm not even making this up. Hi, Gobbles. It's me, your cousin Cluck. We at the farm heard that you had some medical problems and had to have surgery. I just had to come by and visit. I hope all is well and look forward to visiting and reminiscing about the good times we had at the farm. Signed, Cluck. Now, I'm not making this up. This came anonymously. And then last week, we got another letter from people who were writing to Cluck. We have multiple chickens. If we keep getting chickens in the mail, I don't have to put them in your bed, Kevin. There's just no way. There's no way. But anyway, it's actually happening, but we appreciate that you like Gobbles and all that he's doing, but stop sending chickens, please. So the first question is, how many masses will you do? We heard that you're having mass. We heard that you want opening mass up to the public. How many masses are you going to do? And I just have to say I'm very grateful for Bishop Boyer for giving the priests the ability to decide to open up masses in a limited fashion. And
what day will that start on?
That's going to start on Monday. So next Monday we'll have an email out to show you how you can sign up for a mass. But yeah, we're having 2 masses every single day on Monday. I'm starting on Monday. And so we'll have hopefully around 40 to 45 people come to each mass, and that's based on a calculation of how many people can fit in the church. It's about 5% of our seating capacity per the diocesan guidelines. We'll have all sorts of social distancing and hygiene to make sure that it's safe. All that will be spelled out, but we're really, really happy to have Mass. Yeah, it's a big gift.
It's been a long time doing private masses in the Rectory Chapel. It's very strange, so it'll be good to be saying Mass with everyone again.
I was doing a wedding on Saturday, and I was preaching. I actually got to preach to people other than Father Joe and the seminarians who typically sleep in my homilies. It's still pretty early in the Mass, early in the day, but
preaching to people with masks on is hard though.
Yeah.
I was preaching at a funeral I had a few days ago, and it's a very small crowd, which is actually harder. I could preach to a big church, that's no problem, but a small crowd is harder. And then on top of that, they'll have masks on, so I can't even read their facial expressions at all. So I'm like, are they paying any attention? Are they really enjoying it? Are they really angry? I just have no idea. So it's like totally making me insecure in my preaching.
We may have to have people take their masks off while we preach. But anyway,
so I can feel better about it.
To make Father Joe feel better.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be doing 2 masses every single day until we start up for our Sunday masses in June. Hopefully, when the governor lifts the restrictions. So, second question is: will you continue to do Rectory Rambles, chapel chats, and live stream masses after we go back to normal? What do you guys think?
I think for sure, but I think it'll definitely be a little bit more reduced since busyness is going to pick up around the parish, right? So
I think we're definitely going to keep doing the live streams for a long time because it's going to be a long, slow transition out of this lockdown. Many, especially of our older parishioners, many of them are still at home, so there's no plan to end the live stream anytime soon.
Yeah. And the goal is to have Father Joe not sound like Darth Vader while he's preaching. So we
have a new microphone issue. You could hear every single breath. It was like, and the Lord says.
That's how he sounds when he says Mass every time.
No. It was a little distracting. I think Father Matthias was sabotaging my homily is honestly what it was. He was messing with the microphone settings.
This is so funny when I heard that. No, the live stream masses for sure will happen. The chapel chats, not entirely sure. Rectory Rambles, we're not sure. We might actually do something different next week also with regard to this new initiative that we want to do to prepare for Pentecost. I'll say more about that in the email. Yeah, we're going to try to do what we can to stay engaged. And like everyone, we just don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen, but we're in this for the long run. And by the way, the good news is that these guys are staying until August. I don't know if we told you that, but you have a special announcement, right? What do you get to do during July?
Yeah, so in July I'm going to be doing my 30-day silent retreat through the seminary. So me and all my Theology 1 classmates are going to be heading out to South Dakota, and we'll all be going into the Ignatian exercises. So we'll be doing 4 to 5 holy hours a day, total silence. I'm really looking forward to it. I love silent retreats. That'll be awesome.
it's one of the best things that I think happens in spiritual formation at Sacred Heart is the ability to do a 30-day silent retreat. It's a very rare thing for someone to be able to take 30 days and devote it entirely to God. And honestly, it was one of the best experiences of my life. I was very sad for Kevin actually when I heard that it was canceled, but they actually made sure that it was going on, and it was incredible. It was very life changing. My question is, do you think Kevin can be quiet for 30 days? I'm not entirely sure that's going to happen.
Doubtful.
That's why Jesus is there. I can talk to him.
That is true. That's the whole point, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. God just becomes so real in that retreat. It's just really amazing. So yeah. Next question is, how can you stay proactive in discernment of your vocation during this time of pandemic? It sounds to me that the person who's asking this question is asking us, how is it that we can discern our vocations, whether to religious life or priesthood or marriage? How can we stay proactive in this time where everything's kind of shut down? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I guess, well, one little piece of advice that I would like to offer is probably, develop a schedule. Make a schedule for yourself during this time. Start off your day with prayer. And if you're in school, get your classwork done. Do chores around the house. And be sure to maintain that schedule, because I think it's really important that the Lord has put you in this time for a specific reason, and you can offer your daily schedule up to the Lord for your vocation and what He's desiring for you to do with your life. And by being obedient to your schedule, that's actually like a great practice if you are discerning religious life, because obedience is a promise you make or a vow you take, and so it's a great practice for it, and it gets to test you a little bit to see if you do want to live a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's staying present with your schedule, right? A lot of times with vocation, you can get caught thinking about, okay, what's happening in a year down the line? Where's God calling me in a year? But the reality of a calling is that it's always from a person, and you encounter persons in the present. You don't talk to people in the future. You're talking to God. He's with you right now. And so you want to stay present to Him in that relationship so you can hear where He's calling you, because He wants to meet you and start to unfold the calling, to reveal it slowly to you bit by bit in the ordinary day-to-day. So in your work, in your homework and stuff you're doing, in your prayer, He's slowly starting to unfold that to you as you grow and seek to get holier in the prayer life and in growing as a person. So
that's really good. Yeah, just being present to the person that you love. Really, it's what discernment is, right? And as you pour yourself out to your beloved, right, you're going to kind of encounter them in that, and you're going to have a greater sense of how you're called to love. And that's what a vocation is. It's the echo of God's love off of our hearts. It's our response to His love, and whether that's marriage, religious, or priesthood, or even being a brother. I mean, it's such a profound thing. But you love in the present, and you discover that. So just stay focused on love and prayer. So the next question it's kind of a big question. It's fellow Joe preached a homily on prayer. Mm-hmm. The question is, what does your prayer life look like? So it's a kind of a big question, but let's just kind of take a few moments. Like, what does your prayer life look like? Start with you, Kevin.
Well, we all at seminary we all do all the liturgy of the hours. So we say morning prayer, evening prayer, night prayer. So we have that as a schedule. That's a set part of our day. We all do a holy hour, so we spend an hour before Jesus in the Eucharist, communing with them, reading Scripture, stuff like that. We all go to daily Mass. And so there's that set schedule, right, where we have all these times set aside for particular prayers. But I mean, I know personally for me, one of my favorite parts of the day is just spontaneous prayer, right? Flowing out of those set times of prayer, where I'll be doing my work, and maybe after I've done holy hour, and I'll be doing work in the morning. And just being able to relate what I'm doing to God, right? Having that relationship and saying, like, God, thank you for this work. Or like this morning when I was lying on the floor of my room and thinking, this mid-morning was horrible. I was exhausted. I was so tired.
You fell on the floor?
No, I was just lying on the floor because I was too tired to do anything. And I was like Lord, save me.
This is proof that the workout video last week was not acting. Kevin was just being himself and all.
Yeah, that's for me though. Yeah.
So, key tip number 1: pray on the floor. And that's all I heard. What about you? What does your prayer life look like?
Yeah, so like Kevin mentioned, holy hour and liturgy of the hours. I haven't tried laying on the floor, but
works.
I could see how that might be peaceful or relaxing. But one method that I really enjoy is I take my phone in with me to the chapel and put my earbuds in, and I listen to praise and worship for 8 to 10 minutes before I start mental prayer. I find that time to be very, it helps me dive right into my prayer time with God, because I just spend that time glorifying Him, thanking Him for all that He has done for me so far in my life and in the day that I'm praying to Him. And it really allows me to enter deeper into prayer.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite topics to teach on is prayer, and I kind of been kicking myself for not doing a series on prayer in the parish here. And one of the things that I often say is 90% of prayer is showing up. It's just showing up. I mean, all prayer is relational, and if God is love, and if He's the source of love, right? He's love Himself, right? Love itself, right? When you come and you just are there with Him, giving Him any effort that's of your heart, and you say, well, okay, God, I have your way, He's going to have an impact on you. He's going to change you. But so much of our lives is running away from intimacy, running away from love. You see this in marriages. You see this in relationships. You see this everywhere, running away. I refuse to be present. And that refusal always causes us to turn in on ourselves. And that's one of the reasons why what you said is so important, just being present. Like, I'm here. I give you permission to love me. I give you permission to challenge me. And here are the areas of my heart that are painful or confused. Like, I don't know what to do here. Lord, what do you want to say to me? And then it comes into that kind of spontaneity of praising and thanking Him for who He is. And you get kind of caught up in that relationship. And so we have a lot of formal prayer, like our Mass, our Rosary, our Liturgy of the Hour. Those are kind of structures in which, forms in which God meets us. He meets us in a very profound way. But I think sometimes prayer is just it's the simplicity of the relationship. It's going to look different for every person.
And one of the most practical steps that's really needed to get into a steady prayer life is just having a habit built up and having consistent times of the day where you're just setting these times aside for prayer. It's one of the things that seminary really did well, was really training us to have that structure of prayer. Because if you don't have even that, it's really hard to get into a regular prayer routine, because you're like, I'll pray when I get time, or maybe right before I go to bed I'll say a few little Hail Marys. But it's really going to be difficult to grow anywhere beyond that unless you really have specific times every day. This is the time for this prayer that I'm going to do, and no matter what, I'm just going to do it. Yeah. And over time, as you build up those patterns and those habits, your whole prayer life really begins to flourish and deepen.
And there's so much more we could say, and that's just a great question. So one more question. It looks like you guys got haircuts. Did you guys break the stay-at-home order? That's the question. Did you break the stay-at-home? My answer is this. No. We didn't break the stay-at-home order. Tell
So my family, we've got 7 boys in my family, so it's definitely a good investment to have a good set of hair clippers. My mom would do all the haircuts all in one day, all in a row, really fast, very efficient. So I actually went home. I didn't go inside, but I picked up the hair clippers, and we all gave each other haircuts. So it's kind of a group effort. I did Christian's, he did mine. We both did Kevin's. I got halfway through, and then I had to leave for a meeting, so Christian finished it.
It got too difficult.
His hair's
like fur.
He does have thick hair.
Right,
the thickest of all of you.
You needed 2 people to do it. When I was younger, me and my brothers used to cut each other's hair, and so it's something that I was able to do. And it was just kind of cool to have like haircuts in the house. I get to save some money, but yeah, I mean, kind of cool to be able to cut each other's hair. So, one of the things that we also picked up this last week is 2 different, new modes of transportation, and so we hope that you enjoy those.
You have to watch the end of the video to see what he's talking about.
And again, we hope that you guys are doing well. We love you. We miss you. We can't wait to see you again. And just stay focused on Jesus during this difficult time. And as soon as we know it, we're going to be kind of moving back into kind of more of a normal in which we can celebrate the sacraments together and really just meet and be with each other and support each other on the way to Christ. Because no matter what happens, Jesus is with us. He's overcome death. He's overcome sin. And he just draws near to us. So keep loving on your families. Keep loving each other. And we'll hope to see you again soon. And don't forget, if you have any more questions, please type them into the question box below this video. God bless you guys. Peace.
Then we'll go and sit. Hey, hey. Hey, I don't know if I can stop.
So right now we're going to have a little competition between Kevin and Father Joe. It's a little obstacle course that they're going to go through. You're going to weave through these first 4, go through the 2 gates, and then at the end you're going to do a circle around the 3 cones, hit the corner up there, and then you're going to finish through the gate as fast as possible.
Much of what they have imbibed from the wider culture. The patterns of life and ways of thinking that have surrounded them from their childhood, often subtle in their operation, will have to be reordered, not just... What the? Gobbles! What are you doing?
We're having a little bit of one-on-one street ball here between me and Padre Joe. We're going to be excluding Christian from that because he's too skilled. It would be a slaughterfest if he played, so we'll see what happens. Probably going to win, but that's okay.
Here you go. First one to score wins.
Oh, God dang it! Oh, this is so hard.
You have to drop it.
What are you talking about? So,
That'll steal. Miss. Oh no!
I'm sorry. Gosh, you're so much better than I am. Nope.
Oh, I just can't shoot. Okay, this is killing my legs. Oh no! You fell off, you have to try.
Ridiculous.
All right.